Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the hidden world of rare coins that could be worth a fortune. Today, we're spotlighting a coin that might be hiding in your change jar, the 1971 D USA 1-cent coin. Is this humble penny worth millions? What makes it special? And how can you tell if your 1971 D penny is valuable? Stick around as we uncover the history, design, and jaw-dropping auction prices of this classic Lincoln cent. Let's set the stage. It's 1971. Richard Nixon is in the White House, the Vietnam War is ongoing, and the space race continues to capture the world's imagination. Amid these significant events, millions of pennies were rolling out of the Denver Mint, one of which could be worth a small fortune today. The 1971 D penny is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. With the D Mint mark indicating production at the Denver Mint, over 2.9 billion 1971 D pennies were minted, making them quite common. But as we know in numismatics, it's not always about how many were made. It's about the rare varieties, minting errors, and exceptional conditions that can turn an ordinary penny into a jackpot. Design and features. Let's dive into the design. The 1971 D Lincoln penny features the classic Victor David Brenner portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This design has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1909. You'll notice the word Liberty on the left, the date 1971 on the right, and the small D Mint mark just beneath the year, representing the Denver Mint at the top. You'll find the motto, "In God We Trust," which has been featured on U.S. coins since the Civil War era. On the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The reverse also displays United States of America across the top, the phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, just above the memorial, and of course, 1 cent at the bottom. Fun fact, if you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside, just like the real monument. Composition and specifications. Now, let's talk materials. The 1971 D penny was minted from 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing in at 3.11 grams. This was before the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Because of its high copper content, each 1971 D penny has an intrinsic metal value, but remember, it's illegal to melt down U.S. coins for their metal worth. The real value comes from rarity and condition. Minting errors and valuable varieties. Here's where it gets exciting. Minting errors and rare varieties are the golden tickets for coin collectors. While the 1971 D penny had a massive mintage, there are certain errors and varieties that can send its value skyrocketing. Point 1. Double die obverse DDO. Though more common on the 1971 Philadelphia penny, some 1971 D pennies have shown doubling on the obverse. Look for doubling in the words "In God We Trust," Liberty, or the date 1971.2. Repunched mint mark, RPM. A repunched D mint mark is another sought-after variety. This happens when the mint mark was stamped more than once, creating a shadow-like effect. Point 3. Off-center strikes. Some 1971 D pennies were struck off-center, which can increase value. A 5 to 10% off-center strike might fetch a modest premium, but coins struck 50% or more off-center with a visible date and mint mark can sell for hundreds of dollars. Point 4. Clipped planchets. This error occurs when a coin is punched from the edge of a metal strip, leading to a missing crescent-shaped portion. Clipped planchet. 1971 D pennies can be worth $50 to $150 depending on the size and severity. So if you come across any of these errors in your collection, you could be looking at a small fortune. Market value and auction records. Now, let's talk numbers. How much is a 1971 D penny actually worth? Circulated condition. In average circulated condition, a 1971 D penny is typically worth its face value, 1 cent, but because of its copper content, it might fetch around 2 to 3 cents from collectors. Uncirculated condition. In mint state, graded MS65 or higher, the value jumps significantly. A flawless 1971 D penny in MS67 RD red condition can sell for between $500 and $1,000. Auction highlights. Surprised face. In 2019, a stunning MS67 RD 1971 D penny sold for $2,585 at a major coin auction. A rare double die obverse variety sold for $4,000 in 2021. Thanks to its clear doubling and near-perfect condition. In 2022, a collector paid over $6,000 for a 1971 D penny with both a repunched mint mark and off-center strike, a rare combination that made it a prized collector's item. These auctions show how even a common penny can command eye-popping prices under the right conditions. How do you find a valuable 1971 D penny? So, how can you find one of these rare gems? 1. Check your change. Start by going through your spare change, old coin jars, or even rolls of pennies from the bank. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. 2. Use a magnifying glass. To spot doubling or repunched mint marks, use a 10x magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the lettering and date for any unusual doubling. 3. Check for color and luster. Collectors prefer red RD coins, pennies that retain their original coppery shine. The more luster, the higher the grade and value. 4. Get it graded. If you think you've found a valuable 1971 D penny, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can significantly boost its market value. 5. Stay updated. Coin values fluctuate based on demand and rarity. Follow numismatic forums, auction sites, and coin shows to stay in the loop on price trends. And there you have it, the full story of the 1971 D USA 1-cent coin. While most of these pennies are worth just a few cents, the rare errors, pristine examples, and unique varieties can fetch hundreds or even thousands, sometimes even millions for the right coin. So don't dismiss that pocket change too quickly. Your next trip to the grocery store might come with a hidden treasure in your change. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1971 D penny, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Have you ever found a rare penny in your change? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.